Well, thank you very much for that introduction, Michael, and thank you and your team for all the support you've given to me over the last year and a half. I really appreciate it. Let me try going this way. First thing I'd like to do is introduce our team. It's a very high-end team. We're myself an entrepreneur in residence. I've launched dozens of biological products over my 30 years in industry, and have led a lot of different teams in many different companies, all the way from Fortune 500 companies down to little startups. And I think that's part of why I was recruited as entrepreneur in residence. My partner and co-founder is Vinod Labshawar. He was here at the medical center previously, but now he's heading up the Cleveland Clinic's Cancer Nanomedicine program. He too has 30 years of experience, only he's over in the drug discovery, nanomedicine, drug delivery part. He's met many, many publications and patents in this field, and he's also editor-in-chief of Drug Delivery and Translational Research Journal. I'd also like to recognize three of our key advisors and consultants. Karonda Moore, who is probably in the audience somewhere. Yeah, there she is in the back. Thank you for your work. She's a recent PhD from the medical center here and has over 10 years of lab experience, and she's our expert in oxidative stress. Courtney Keppelman is our expert in skin care and cosmetic beauty, sales and marketing executive, and then Paul Munger is our manufacturing and quality systems consultant that's helped us analyze all of our cost and scale-up issues. So what's the problem we're trying to solve? Well, really there's two very related problems. The one on the left here is one that I see every day when I look in the mirror, and that's what happens to you over the years as you're exposed to the sun. It's called photoaging. And as you can see, over time, the skin becomes very wrinkled, sagging, you lose all the support, and it's a dramatic difference from what you look like when you're younger. So that's one problem. It's kind of a cosmetic issue that most of us suffer from anyway. The other problem is a much more serious medical issue, skin cancer. There's several types of skin cancer, many of which are treatable in a doctor's office, but melanoma is a very serious issue. There's over 3.5 million cases of skin cancer diagnosed every year. It's the most prominent kind of cancer in the U.S., and there's one death every 57 minutes from melanoma. So it's a very serious health issue that we're trying to address. So we're working in both cosmetics and a serious medical issue. Before we can solve that problem, though, we need to understand what the mechanism is. And the mechanism is driven by sun exposure. As you all know, there's several kinds of UV radiation coming from the sun. UVB is pretty mild. It's a short wavelength that doesn't penetrate very far, and it causes sunburns, and vitamin D, which is critical really for human health. But there's also UVA, which is a much more powerful radiation, and what that leads to is formation of free radicals in the skin, and those free radicals are very, very damaging. Usually they're controlled by antioxidant enzymes in the body, but oftentimes those enzymes become overwhelmed and leads to a condition known as oxidative stress. And one of the most important actors in this is reactive oxygen species, and those are the issues that we're trying to address with our technology. Now, of course, the current market already knows about all these things. It's well publicized in the press and everything else. Most companies try to address it by extractions from natural things like citrus and seeds, leaves, that kind of thing. And these are definitely antioxidants, but they generally don't penetrate. They're low potency. They're not very stable. And there's no mechanism for sustained release. So basically, they either get on and washed off, or if they do get on, they're metabolized and excreted by the body. So we come up with a real scientific solution, and that's based on nanomedicine. These are patented nanoparticles that we call Pro-NP. In the background here, you see an electron micrograph of a cluster of those nanoparticles. They're extremely small. They're between 80 and 100 nanometers big. We hold an exclusive license to these through Unimed. They are made with a PLGA copolymer that we'll get into later. So this is real science with peer-reviewed articles, and our plan is to pack antioxidants in these nanoparticles and use those as a delivery mechanism to control oxidative stress. And that would be done through partnership with current manufacturers of sunscreen and cosmetics. So what are our real advantages? Well, two of them are you can program the release of the compound, and that allows you to do sustained release, so it can be released in the body days to weeks at a time. It protects the enzyme cargo, and these are naturally occurring enzymes that your body has anyway to control oxidative stress, and what we're doing is augmenting the supply. They're cell permeable, and they are so small they are skin permeable, so they get deep into the tissue where this oxidative stress is occurring. They're very well known to be non-toxic. In fact, PLGA is in FDA-approved products, and it's completely biodegradable by the body, so we don't really believe there'll be any